Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, let's recap everything that has happened today. We've been talking about Gyokeres the entire day, but there's been other updates on other players. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that we will definitely get more attackers after the Gyokeres signing, but which attackers are those? We're going to talk about that one. So, today we got the Here We Go for Gyokeres. Absolutely fantastic. Over the moon. I've not stopped smiling for like 5 hours straight. That is perfect. We've had the medical confirmed. He's going to undergo his medical over in Singapore. And then there's a chance that he could be part of the game against Newcastle over the weekend. If not, he's definitely going to be part of the Tottenham game. Obviously, he's not going to be part of the AC Milan game tomorrow. But here we go, confirmed. That is absolutely amazing. That the reaction to that has been incredible. If you go online, even the Arsenal players are pretty much celebrating seeing Gyokeres, about to join Arsenal. So that is great. Now, Mosquera has also arrived in Singapore. He's arriving in the morning over in Singapore. So in a couple of hours, he'll be in Singapore. It's a long flight, and then it will officially be our fifth signing of the transfer window. Again, a good backup defender who's going to be available, young one who's going to learn from Gabriel and obviously Saliba as well. Fantastic. That's another very, very good deal to do. Once again, another player who really, really wanted to join Arsenal, Mosquera. Gyokeres also really wanted to join Arsenal. Now, those are very, very good deals. Absolutely fantastic. If we add that to, getting Zubimendi for 55 million, paying it in installments and beating Real Madrid and Liverpool to this particular player, absolutely excited to see his debut against AC Milan and seeing how he's going to control that midfield. Fantastic signing. Norgard for 10 million plus 2 million in add-ons. I think that is a good deal. Is he going to be starting games? Is he going to be a backup? Looking forward to seeing the preseason as well and seeing how he performs. He is another player who's very, very excited about joining Arsenal. So if you watch his interviews and his vlogs, he was crying. He was given the Arsenal shirt and he was crying. He's just so happy to be here. So again, very, very good to have a player who wants to be at Arsenal. Obviously, we needed a backup goalkeeper for 5 million. I was very, very happy with getting Kepa for 5 million. I think that is a very, very good deal for just 5 million. Player who's been playing for Real Madrid recently, played a lot for Bournemouth last season. So I'm quite happy with that. One player that we signed, but he's not going to be part of the tour because he's on holiday because of his involvement over the Club World Cup is Madueke. But obviously, it's started a lot of controversy, especially the fee and the fact we signed him from Chelsea. But he's now a national player, so we have to wait and see how he does. But you're not going to see him for another couple of weeks. He's probably going to be back for the Emirates Cup games Emirates Cup game, and then also the game against Villarreal that week. So 2 games, hopefully get to see him before the season starts. So far, in terms of that, so good. Before the Gyokeres deal, I was saying that's like a 5 out of 10. You still need to sort out a forward line. Now, getting Gyokeres, that has boosted that to like 8 out of 10. But you still need more attackers because, as you see there, I've not said 10 out of 10. We definitely still need more attackers. So, who are the next attackers to join us? Fabrizio's confirmed the top one. Arsenal are not done in the market yet. So, we're definitely going to go for more signings. This is definitely the most we've been active in a transfer window in a long time. 6 players already signed, and we're still in July. And if you add to those 6 players the fact that we've given new deals to a lot of players as well. We've given new deals to Lewis Kelly, Nwaneri, Gabriel, very, very big deals. We're in discussions with Saliba and Bukayo Saka as well. But they've been busy. It has been busy as well, and the rest of the board too. There's been changes in the managerial team. Gabriel Heinz has joined, and Carlos Cuesta has left. There's been a lot of departures from Arsenal, including Jorginho. So in terms of movement, it's been busy. It's not been quite as it was, for example, last year up until like July. This time it's been very busy, but we still need more. How many more signings are you going to make? 1 more or 2 more? Who knows? There's a point. I think a month ago where they said, "Don't rule out Arsenal getting a new left back." Especially if Zinchenko leaves or Kivia leaves and then Calafres move to centre back, it's going to be interesting. Now we'll talk about Kivia at the end of this video because I have something to say about Kivia. But let's fast finish on this one. Arsenal would still like to add one more creative player, according to Fabrizio. Talks already took place with Eze's agents, but not with Palace so far. While the Gunners are informed on Simon's situation, but not at any advanced stage so far, as outgoings will be crucial. So that has been consistent recently from our hand of us and Fabrizio and also David Onstein. They're saying we'll need to, sell a few players now before going for a player like Eze. Now, our first game of the Premier League season is 17th August, so we are still like 27, 28 days away from that. I would like, by the time we get to the Emirates Cup, to have finalized all our signings. That would be great before the Man United game. But there's still obviously a lot of players who are currently here that we know are not going to be there next season. For example, obviously Reece Nelson, we know is going to be sold. We have to finalize that deal. Is currently with the rest of the team over in Singapore. Are we going to sell him? Are we going to use that money to add to getting a player like Eze? Fabio Vieira is not in the plans for sure. He didn't travel with the team because he was involved with their support in the Club World Cup. But even when he's back, he's not going to be involved. He's not really in the plans with all the attacking players that we are talking about Nwaneri, Odegaard in the 10, and Eze adding to that, obviously. And then Martinelli, Trossard are still here. Madueke will be used on that side as well, especially if Eze gets signed as well. He can play in that position. There's Saka, there's Madueke on the right side. Now there's going to be Gyokeres with Havertz and Merino. There's no spot there for Fabio Vieira to play, unfortunately. So he's also going to be moved on. Now, those are just two examples. We haven't mentioned, Albert Sambi Lokonga is still here. Karl Hein, the goalkeeper, is still here, and a few other players who we know are going to leave, but they're still currently here. If they leave, are we going to, gather that money? Zinchenko, is he going to be one of the players leaving? If we need to sell a player like Zinchenko to get a player like Eze, I would proceed with the deal. Now, if you're able to get Eze and don't really need to sell players, I'm not like screaming really for Zinchenko to be sold. I'm not like standing up and screaming and shouting like sell Zinchenko, sell Zinchenko. No, looking at us getting at least 25 million fast. If you're not able to get that and someone coming to offer like 12 million and stuff, I'm not really too keen. But if we do need to sell him to get a forward player, then we need to do it because defensively is not going to feature really, and we know he's not one of the best defenders at all. And you have Lewis Kelly, and you have Calafiori, and you have Kivio who can all play there. So is one of the players that can be sacrificed and moved on. Again, same with Trossard and Martinelli, not really too keen on moving them on unless that kind of money is going to be used on the other forward players. But if you don't need that money, then I'm happy to keep all of them as well for squad depth. So that is what Fabrizio had to say, outgoing. So let's see how it goes. Eze is definitely one that we are looking at for sure. At the moment, there's been like 2 or 3 other teams that have been mentioned, but it's still a very, very huge possibility for sure. Why is it a huge possibility? Well, let's go to hand of Arsenal. Eberechi Eze's future was linked to Ethan Nwaneri's, but since glowing references from Arsenal players, Mikel Arteta is obsessed and directly communicated this to the board. So, according to the Arsenal players, they gave good reviews about Eze. So, is it, Eze used to be a former Arsenal player, so maybe played with someone there in the academy. But obviously, he's played with Bukayo Saka to England. He's played with Rice. He's played with Lewis Kelly over in England as well. And then a player like as he already talked to Madueke as well. Madueke has played with Eze over at England as well, so he's a well-liked player. He's an England international as well. And there's a picture where Eze and Saka and Madueke are all training together for England. So could we see a reunion at Arsenal? Maybe. Now, Hand of Arsenal has broken this down even more. So again, if the players like Declan Rice and whoever else that respects their opinion on in terms of the leaders, and if they tell them, listen, Ez is a very, very good player, is going to add this and that, you can communicate that to the board, and then we wait to see whether that deal is possible. Now, Hand of Arsenal also says it is understood that personal terms have never been an issue with Eze, with one source revealing that he would sign a 5-year contract tomorrow. He has also told Chelsea and Bayern Munich that his preference would be a move to the Gunners. Another player who wants to join Arsenal. So basically, Hand of Arsenal is telling us that he's already told Chelsea and Bayern Munich he's not interested in going there. He would prefer a move to Arsenal. Now, again, Arsenal are very relaxed with the Gyokeres one because they knew they're going to get him. I was also very relaxed. I knew 100% going to get Gyokeres. Is it the same with Eze? Maybe Arsenal feeling like, hey, we had time. Let's finalize the Gyokeres one. Let's finalize the Madueke one. Let's sell a couple of players. Eze has the Premier League experience already. It's not like he'll need time to adapt to the English word and the English field or anything. It's just I need to, adapt to the tactics at Arsenal, and maybe if they feel like he can easily adapt to that, let's take our time, let's finalize the other deals, and then we go in back for Eze, because we're sure he's not going to go to any other different team. He's already said no to Chelsea and Bayern Munich. Maybe Arsenal have also talked to Eze personally, and they've told him, listen, we're going to come back for you, let's finalize all these other deals, and then you're going to come back for you. You don't even have to move city, just in staying in the same city, London, and they're going to just move out to Arsenal. So that could be a possibility. He would sign a contract tomorrow. So if you went and paid Crystal Palace right now 68 million, Eze would be an Arsenal player tomorrow. No other negotiations to be done. But obviously, we're not going to pay that 68 million. Arsenal want there's a couple of ways this deal could go. Arsenal could pay up front, less, and then add-ons. Arsenal could also offer players. We were told Josh Nichols was mentioned, Trossard was mentioned. We could give them a player and then go and get Eze in return. Crystal Palace could reject it completely, or Arsenal could do the same thing they did with the Zubimendi deal. So for Zubimendi, it was supposed to be 52 million, but it became 55 million so that you could pay in installments. Could it be the same with Eze? Could we tell them, listen, we're actually going to give you 73, but we're going to do it in like 3 installments instead of giving you 68 in 1 installment? Who knows? Maybe Crystal Palace could say yes to that, but at the moment, just don't know what is going to happen with that. But it's great to hear that we are still, keen on him. Now, Hand of Arsenal broke all this down in terms of the state of play with Eze right now. He said his future was linked to Ethan. Ethan's, hence my statement, until a formal approach is made, proceed with caution. Since the talks, glowing references from Arsenal players Arteta is obsessed and directly communicated this to the board. We've got through that. My understanding is personal terms have never been an issue. One source said he would sign a 5-year deal tomorrow. Furthermore, I also understand he has told Chelsea and Bayern his preference is Arsenal, but how long can a player wait? Yeah, obviously, unless they're very sure that he's just going to join Arsenal like they did with Gyokeres and Declan Rice and all these guys, and they're just sure he's not going to go elsewhere, then they can take the risk and finalize the other deals fast before going for Eze. Also, Hand of Arsenal said informal dialogue has taken place with Palace, but nothing further as of today. Arsenal will focus on sales, and hopefully the sale of Trossard opens the door. So there's still a chance Trossard could be moved on. The hope is Andrea Beta makes sales and picks up the phone to Steve Parish, and that is the chairman for Crystal Palace. If anything develops further, I will be sure to update you. Yeah, appreciate it. It is well known in the industry. Parish is honorable and straightforward. He would use the money to invest into Selhurst Park and other club matters. There is a deal there to be done. That's all I have on Eze specifically. So it's a deal that can definitely happen, as reported by Fabrizio, reported by David Onstein, reported by Hand of Arsenal. Definitely a deal that can happen. So that is great to hear. I thought like a deal is off, and the Rodrigo, and I'm not sure you're going to get Rodrigo. I was never sure from day one. But for Eze, there's always a chance. Now for Gyokeres, they said that was 100%. For Eze, I've always said I'm 60%. So I'm not as high as the Gyokeres deal in terms of confidence. There's still a chance that we might not get him. Maybe go for someone else, someone like a Xavi Simons, as Fabrizio mentioned. You never know. But let's see how this one goes over the next couple of days after finalizing the Gyokeres one that has taken a lot of time and effort and feelings and all that and emotions. It's drowned us emotionally. So let's see if we can go back for maybe even for people like Andrea Bata, trying to get that Gyokeres deal done. It drains them emotionally and time-wise and all that, and they need a couple of days before going for Eze. Let's see how it goes. Now, Jakub Kiwior. According to Sam Dean, Jakub Kiwior is not foreseen to leave Arsenal this summer. So for me, I'm not keen on selling Kiwior. If you're going to sell him, unless you're getting 55 million or something, all the other prices everyone has been going for, including Konza, the Liverpool defender, for like 40 million euros or something. Kiwior is an international player, very good defender. 3 seasons for Arsenal, 3 different positions. 1 season helping out at left back, the other season helping out in Saliba's position, the other season helping out in Gabriel's position this past year. Incredible. International player, plays every single game for Poland, chips in with a couple of good goals. I don't think you can count maybe 2 games where he's made a mistake that has cost us, like that Bayern Munich one up against Sane, and then that one against it was Bournemouth where he kicked the ball back and then we gave away a penalty. But not too many times that we've watched the game and been like, oh my goodness, Kiwior is being destroyed. You can count those games on one finger. I can remember 2 seasons ago he had a poor game against Fulham at left back, but that is not really his position. His position is to playing the left center back role, or maybe right center back role sometimes, help out Gabriel. If you have Gabriel and Saliba, and you also have Mosquera, and you also have Calafiori and Kivior, we are allowed to rest all these other players. We don't have to play the players like Timber every single day. And I'm imagining Timber and White, Lewis Skelly and Calafiori, and then you have Gabriel and Saliba starting, and then Mosquera and Kivior as the backups. That is very good, and we still haven't talked about Zinchenko is still here, so maybe a game or two, the cup games, he could come on or start, whatever. That is a very, very solid team. Lewis Kelly is looking, ready for the next season. Hopefully, Calafiori can stay fit. Ben White and Tim have never really been in the same team together. When the other one was injured, the other one was okay, and the other one was okay, the other one was injured. This will be the first season where they're both fit. That is great. Gabriel is back from injury. Timber is back from injury. Our defense is very good. Now you add Mosquera to that, and then you keep Kivior. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, if someone comes with like 50 million for Kiva and you sell him, maybe that can allow you to go for someone like Eze. But I want our defense to be solid. I want us to have enough players in this team. I don't want us to struggle with score depth anymore. So that is the latest on Gyokeres, Eze, and Kivio. We'll update as well when Mosquera arrives for the medical, and when Gyokeres arrives for the medical as well. Absolutely fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.